Dinner time, Deuteronomy 17. Do not slaughter to Jehovah your Elohim a bull or sheep which has any blemish. Any evil matter for that is an abomination to Jehovah your Elohim. When there is found in your midst, in any of your cities which Jehovah your Elohim is giving you, a man or a woman who does what is evil in the eyes of Jehovah your Elohim in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other mighty ones, and bowed down to them, or to the sun, or to the moon, or to any of the hosts of the heavens which I have commanded, and it has been made known to you, and you have heard, and have searched diligently, then see, if true, the matter confirmed that such an abomination has been done in Israel, then you shall bring out to your gates that man or woman who has done this evil matter, and you shall stone to death the man or woman with stones. At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall he that is to die be put to death. He is not put to death by the mouth of 1 witness. The hand of the witnesses shall be first against him, to put him to death, and the hand of all the people last. So you shall purge the evil from your midst. When any matter arises which is too hard for you to judge, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, or between stroke and stroke, matters of strife within your gates, then you shall rise and go to the place which Jehovah your Elohim chooses, and shall come to the priest, the Levites, and to the judge who is in those days, and shall inquire, and they shall declare to you the word of right ruling. And you shall do according to the word which they declare to you from that place which Jehovah chooses. And you shall guard to do according to all that they instruct you. Do according to the Torah in which they teach you, according to the right ruling which they say to you. You do not turn to the right or to the left from the word which they declared to you. And the man who acts arrogantly so as not to listen to the priest who stands to serve there before Jehovah your Elohim, or to the judge, that man shall die. So you shall purge the evil from Israel. And let all the people hear and fear, and no longer do arrogantly. When you come to the land which Jehovah your Elohim is giving you, and shall possess it, and shall dwell in it, and you shall say, let me set a sovereign over me like the nations that are around me. You shall certainly set a sovereign over you, whom Jehovah your Elohim shall choose. Set a sovereign over you from among your brothers. You are not allowed to set a foreigner over you, who is not your brother. Only he is not to increase horses for himself, nor cause the people to return to Mizraim to increase horses. For Jehovah has said to you, do not return that way again. And he is not to increase wives for himself, lest his heart turn away, nor to be too greatly increase silver and gold for himself. And it shall be, when he sits on the throne of his reign, that he shall write for himself a copy of this Torah in a book, from the one before the priests, the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read it all the days of his life, so that he learns to fear Jehovah his Elohim, and guard all the words of this Torah, and these laws, to do them, so that his heart is not lifted up above his brothers, and so as not to turn aside from the command, right or left, so that he prolongs his days in his reign, he and his children in the midst of Israel. I think there's a few American pastors who could benefit from reading that passage. that the Lord here said that they are not to greatly increase in silver and gold, and that they should sit and write with their own hand the entire copy of this Torah and read it their whole life. The priests, the Levites, all the tribe of Levi, have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They are to eat the offerings of Jehovah made by fire and his inheritance. But among his brothers, Levi has no inheritance. Jehovah is his inheritance, as he has spoken to him. And this is the priest's right from the people, from those who slaughter a slaughtering, whether it is bull or sheep. They shall give to the priest the shoulder and the 2 cheeks and the stomach. The first fruits of your grain and your new wine and your oil, and the first of the fleece of your sheep you give to them. For Jehovah your Elohim has chosen him out of all your tribes to stand to serve in the name of Jehovah, him and his sons forever. And when the Levites come from one of your gates, from where he has sojourned among all Israel, and shall come with all the desire of his being to the place which Jehovah chooses, then he shall serve in the name of Jehovah, his Elohim. Like all his brothers, the Levites who are standing there before Jehovah, they are to have portion for portion to eat, besides what comes from the sale of his inheritance. When you come into the land which Jehovah your Elohim is giving you, do not learn to do according to the abomination of those nations. Let no one be found among you who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices divination, or a user of magic, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead. For whoever does these are an abomination to Jehovah. And because of these abominations, Jehovah your Elohim drives them out from before you. Be perfect before Jehovah your Elohim. For these nations whom you are possessing, do listen to those using magic and to diviners. But as for you, Jehovah your Elohim has not appointed such for you. Jehovah your Elohim shall rise up for you a prophet like me from your midst. From your brothers, listen to him, according to all you asked of Jehovah your Elohim in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of Jehovah my Elohim, nor let me see this great fire any more, lest I die. And Jehovah said to me, What they have spoken is good. I shall raise up for them a prophet like you out of the midst of the brothers, and I shall put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. And it shall be, the man who does not listen to my words, which he speaks in my name, I require it of him. But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other mighty ones, even that prophet shall die. And when you say in your heart, How do we know the word of which Jehovah has not spoken? When the prophet speaks in the name of Jehovah, and the word is not, or comes not, that is the word which Jehovah has not spoken. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Do not be afraid of him. When Jehovah your Elohim cuts off the nations whose land Jehovah your Elohim is giving you, and you dispossess them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, separate 3 cities for yourself in the midst of your land, which Jehovah your Elohim is giving you to possess. Prepare a way for yourselves, and divide into 3 parts the border of your land, which Jehovah your Elohim is giving you to inherit, that any manslayer shall flee there. And this matter of the manslayer who flees there and lives, he who strikes his neighbor unknowingly, not having hated him in the past. Even he who goes to the forest with his neighbor to cut timber, and his hand swings a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slips from the handle and strikes his neighbor, so that he dies. Let him flee to one of these cities and live, lest the revenger of blood, while his displeasure is hot, pursue the manslayer and overtake him. Because the way is long and shall strike his being, though he was not worthy of death, since he had not hated him before. Therefore I am commanding you, saying, separate 3 cities for yourself. And if Jehovah your Elohim enlarges your border, as he swore to your fathers, and has given you the land which he promised to give to your fathers, when you guard all his commands to do it, which I am commanding you today, to love Jehovah your Elohim, and to walk in his ways all the days, then you shall add 3 more cities for yourself besides these 3, so that innocent blood is not shed in the midst of your land, which Jehovah your Elohim is giving you as an inheritance, or blood guilt shall be upon you. But when anyone hated his neighbor, and shall lie in wait for him, and rise against him and strike him, being so that he dies, then he shall flee to one of these cities. And the elders of his city shall send and bring him from there, and give him into the hand of the revenger of blood, and he shall die. Your eyes shall not pardon him, but you shall purge the blood of the innocent from Israel, so that it might be well with you. Do not remove your neighbor's boundary, which those in the past have set, in your inheritance which you inherit in the land that Jehovah your Elohim is giving you to possess. 1 witness does not rise up against a man concerning any crookedness or any sin that he commits. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, a matter is established. When a malicious witness rises up against any man to accuse him of turning aside, then both men who have the dispute shall stand before Jehovah, before the priest and the judges who serve in those days. And the judges shall diligently search and see if the witness is a false witness who has falsely accused his brother. Then you shall do to him as he thought to have done to his brother. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst, and let the rest hear and fear, and never again do this evil matter in your midst. And let your eye not pardon, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. When you go out to battle against your enemy, and shall see horses and chariots and people more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them, for Jehovah your Elohim, who brought you up from the land of Mizraim, is with you. And it shall be, when you draw near to the battle, that the priest shall come and speak to the people, and shall say to them, Hear, O Yisrael, you are drawing near today to battle with your enemies. Do not let your heart faint, and do not fear or tremble or be afraid before them. For Jehovah your Elohim is he who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officers shall speak to the people, saying, Who is the man who has built a new house, and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man dedicate it. And who is the man who has planted a vineyard and has not begun to use it? Let him also go and return to the house, lest he die in the battle and another man should begin to use it. And who is the man who is engaged to a woman and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further to the people and say, Who is the man who is afraid and tender of heart? Let him go and return to his house, lest the heart of his brothers faint like his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have finished speaking to the people, that they shall appoint commanders of the divisions to lead the people. When you draw near to a city to fight against it, then you shall make a call for peace to it, and it shall be that if it accepts your call for peace, and shall open to you, then all the people found in it are to be your compulsory labor and serve you. But if it does not make peace with you and shall fight against you, then you shall besiege it. And Jehovah your Elohim shall give it into your hand, and you shall strike every male in it with the edge of the sword. Only the woman and the little ones, and the livestock, and all that is in the city, all its spoil you take as plunder for yourself, and you shall eat the enemy's plunder which Jehovah your Elohim gives you. Do so to all the cities which ate very far from you, which are not of the cities of these nations. Do so to all the cities which are very far from you, which are not of the cities of these nations. Only the cities of these peoples which Jehovah your Elohim gives you as an inheritance. You do not keep alive any that breathe, but you shall certainly put them under the ban: the Hittite, and the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite, as Jehovah your Elohim has commanded you, lest they teach you to do according to all their abominations, which they have done for all their mighty ones, and you sin against Jehovah your Elohim. When you besiege a city for a long time, by fighting against it to take it, you do not destroy its trees by wielding an axe against them. If you do eat of them, do not cut them down, for it is the tree of the field, a man to be besieged by you. Only the trees which you know are not trees for food you do destroy and cut down, to build siege works against the city that is fighting against you until it falls. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for all of your wisdom. Let our lives bless you.